Hello, good afternoon and welcome back to the Kerry Garden Show. Alan Finn back with you here again at Boyles of Killorglin for a new season. And there's lots happening here at Boyles of Killorglin, including lots of work going on in behind us where they're doing more renovations here, and the place is going to look fantastic in just a few weeks. But something else that looks fantastic is the new manager here at Boyles of Killorglin. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Miguel. Miguel, how are you?
Hello, everybody. Hi, Alan. How are you?
How are things?
Things are good.
Good, good. Bit noisy.
Yeah, he's driving us crazy. Yeah, you should be here every day, you know?
Yeah, and no, it's okay. I'll give it a miss.
You will be killing someone. Hopefully I won't.
Yeah. Well, listen, Miguel, you've been the manager here at the Garden Centre for just under a year, and you're going to be kind of sitting in here for a good few shows this year.
Yeah, it looks like that.
Yeah, so tell us a bit about yourself. Where are you originally from?
I am obviously not from Ireland.
You're not from out the road? Come on, no, that's the direction.
My accent, you know, is just...
It's a giveaway.
Yeah. And as you can see, I'm not from here. I'm Spanish. I'm from Granada. I'm from the south of Spain, and my life is always been related to plants.
Really? Yeah. So is that where you got a love? Did your parents involved?
Yeah, my grandfather had sugarcane, and I used to go with him when I was a little kid.
Right.
There was the only sugarcane plantations in Europe.
Right.
And before they just disappeared because the cost was very high.
Very high, okay, right.
I used to go with him.
Yeah.
And that's how I started.
That's how you started.
And then I started with avocados, and then I started with ornamental plants.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, well,
right.
I've been with plants my entire life.
Your entire life, wow, excellent. So you're the right man.
Plants.
The right man.
There's different gardening plants there, totally different.
Totally different in Spain, of course, yeah. And how long have you been in Ireland?
8 years already.
8 years.
Nearly 8.5 years.
So you've gotten used to our climate and of course our soil, and also all of the plants and flowers and shrubs that can grow here.
Well, I nearly knew most of them, but you didn't see them. You don't see them perform in Spain, you know. Or
okay, the same way.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, you know, I get used to the weather. I don't go to Spain anymore in summertime.
No, okay.
Because it's too hot for me, so I'm
too hot. Well, you're definitely becoming Irish, so if that's the case.
A little bit darker than a regular average. But
yeah. So here we are, Miguel, in March, the start of another season of the Kerry Garden Show, and March is, of course, also probably one of the most important months of the year, isn't it?
It's a very important month. You have to get ready for spring, and it's plenty of mistakes you can make. Like, I don't know, putting fertilizer in lawn is too early now.
Too early, yeah.
You should be waiting till early April, just in case, you know, you can damage the lawn.
Yeah, so that's probably a good place to start, because, you know, everyone, you know, the dry weather, it's been kind of dry couple of months. We haven't had a whole lot of rain and stuff like that. So people might get a little bit too eager out in the garden and think, it's time to start cutting the grass. It's time to start throwing out the moss killer and everything like that.
Or
so you'd say
pruning. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is the wrong pruning in certain plants.
Okay.
So camellias, azaleas, or early blooming plants, they should be pruned right after flowering. If you prune them in winter, like other plants, you are pruning the buds, so you won't have a full bloom, or you will have no bloom.
Okay, so you're actually getting rid of next year's buds. You're actually cutting them off. Oh, okay.
Exactly. And I've seen a few camellias in the last days when I drive towards here that they were wrongly pruned, and they only have a few scattered flowers when they should be plenty now.
Because pruning is, I suppose, one of the things that a lot of people, you know, will kind of focus on at this time of year, because there's a lot of dead parts of the plants. You know, a lot of the kind of heads are still there, and there's been some plants that you kind of leave the old bits alone, isn't there? There's a couple.
Well, it's many different. Every plant is different, but as a rule of thumb, it's a good time for pruning trees. Well, it's still time for pruning trees. Okay. Because they are still dormant. It's a good time for pruning roses. Or shrubs that are late flowering in the summer. Okay. But you have to be very careful and know the plants you're doing. Yeah. It's not going mad and pruning everything.
Okay, so the one thing people don't the one thing people don't do is just tear into it and think that needs pruning. Sure, I'll prune the whole lot.
Yeah,
it's not like that.
People make, and just will be a basic cleaning of the parts, and then depending on the plants, pruning height more or less.
Yeah.
I've seen hydrangeas pruned ground level, and it's a very big mistake because it takes 2 years or 3 years for them to flower again.
No, yeah.
So just Google it. If you're in doubt, just Google it.
There's loads of little apps I've seen as well too, where you can like identify a plant, because you know a lot of gardeners out there will definitely know what they've planted, but others won't. I forgot what's that one in the corner? You know, I can't remember it. You can take out a little app, take a little photo, and then, or even bring it into yourselves and go.
Exactly, yeah. We can identify the plants. That apps can be tricky. Sometimes they give you a wrong answer. They're probably getting better.
Yeah.
And sometimes they give you 4 or 5 options, so you can just have a look.
Okay.
But they're very good for if you're in a, I don't know, in a botanical garden or in a neighbor's garden or a friend's garden, and you see something that you like, and
you want to find out what it is.
Picture.
Okay, so maybe not for pruning. So,
but it's also give you a few good tips, and some of them they can identify certain diseases in the plant.
Okay.
You don't have to trust them 100%.
Yeah. No.
But they are very, very handy for people that they don't want to, you know. At the end, this is my knowledge in this is an entire life of studying plants.
And I think that was one thing as well too that we've always said here, is that if in doubt, take a picture and bring it in.
Yeah, absolutely. Pictures are essential, because people comes and ask us about something, describing a green leaf, and a green leaf is 20 types of green leaves.
Yeah. It's hard to know exactly.
It's a medium shrub, and this is
okay.
You take a picture, and we'll probably can identify the plant and the problem.
Yeah.
The problems are normally very easy, or overwatering in pots, or underwatering, overfeeding, or underfeeding, or the wrong pruning. But it's normally very easy mistakes, and sometimes we just go with too much love. Too much love can kill you.
Okay, right. And that's what the song says.
So sometimes especially in indoor plants, you see that the plant is wilting, and you put more water and more food and more food, but
it's just going through its natural process.
Every plant is different.
It's different.
Even the situation, the location of the plant, the same plant can behave really bad in one part of your garden. If you move it, don't be afraid of digging out the plant and moving it.
Right. If it's not performing well, would that be the reason?
Yeah. Could be it's too much, it's too exposed, or too sheltered, or too shady.
And I guess this is the time as well too, because if you noticed last summer, my God, that plant is actually after overtaking the bed, and is actually kind of, you know, maybe its leaves are kind of overshadowing what's underneath it, and maybe it needs to come out to find its own little spot, something like that.
Exactly. Don't be afraid, even with big trees. Don't be afraid of digging them up and transplant it to somewhere else. Just find the right time of the year, when they are dormant.
Yeah.
And then you could be surprised, because they can start just
regrowing.
Exactly.
So we'll talk about, because we've got the tools here as well too. You've got some secateurs, and I've got a folding saw as well with a hand guard, which is very important.
Handy for pruning trees.
And your secateurs is very important for things. One thing I do remember that's been told many times: make sure they are clean.
Yeah.
If they've been in the shed for the last 3 months, Miguel, what happens?
Probably have some kind of fungus in the blades, and it could be not only transmitted to ones, but the whole lot. And then, or if you have to be very careful when you are pruning plants with a certain disease to clean the secateurs after, because if you don't do it, you can spread, even your hands, your gloves, can be spreading that fungus.
And what's the best way to clean them? Would it be just soap and hot water, or?
In a perfect world, would be something with alcohol, something that kills everything, but soap, water, and a good cloth, and clean it as much as you can. Maybe not every day. But if you have, be wise, you know.
If you're using them a lot, using them a lot across a lot of different plants in your garden, it'd be good to.
But be aware that they can be spreading whatever disease one plant has. Not insects, but fungus.
The fungus. Yeah,
well, mostly all the fungus. Even your hands, when you're just taking out, is full of spora.
Yeah. Now we'll come back to roses a little later in the season, because we'll probably do a whole plant on them as well. But right now, I want to talk about stuff we can do for the garden. We've plenty of slow release fertilizer here and things like that. What would you recommend people should be doing right now?
So, if you didn't feed your soil or your pots in late on the year, in spring, you should, late in winter, sorry, you should do it now to start enriching the soil.
Okay.
So it's essential that when the plants wake up, they have some
the right
food.
nutrients to get them
especially in pots. Soil in the ground, they just will be looking for their own.
Yeah. And if you got the worms going and the water coming, the rain coming down the side.
But if you have pots, you have to be very careful with the feeding, and it's essential to feed them.
Okay.
And depending on the plant, as you probably all know, the ericaceous. It's always pink bags.
Okay. So that's ericaceous. That's an extra little thing. Now I didn't realize that.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
So it will always be pink.
Okay.
Everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Every packaging.
Ericaceous is pink.
Ericaceous is
okay, that's
pink.
good.
And that's acidic.
Yeah.
That's an acidic food. An acidic food is good for azaleas, camellias, for ericaceous plants.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some acers, mostly all the plants that have red leaves.
Okay.
As a rule of thumb, like photinias, red robins,
they
like pinky thing.
Okay, right. Okay, so pink and red, it's all going through together. All right.
This one will be it's a regular multi-purpose for any other shrub.
Any other soil, yeah.
You can feed with the ericaceous. It's good for conifers as well. They like ericaceous.
Yeah.
This one will be for everything.
Okay.
This one is a very powerful boost, actually.
Okay.
So just follow the
measurements. Yeah, no, we always say that if there's instructions on what you need to measure them, it does, because if you, as you said, overfeeding or underfeeding, it's what you don't want.
This, I would recommend this slow release.
Okay.
For shrubs and trees, and I will go with this fella for annuals, for quick growing annuals or quick growing perennials.
Yeah.
So that will give you a nitrogen boost to these plants, and then when they, let's say you use this with tomato. You use this when it's growing, the plant is growing, and then when it has plenty of flowers, you switch to the tomato food.
Okay.
Because that's very, really rich in nitrogen.
Okay.
Nitrogen is good for growing.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
While this fella just continuously release food for a few months.
Okay.
And you won't do any overfeeding with this.
And I see is there broccoli and cauliflower, so that's good for your veg patch as well.
That would be good for mixing it up with the soil.
Yeah.
Before you start planting them, but I wouldn't do this
just now.
After.
Oh, after.
I wouldn't scatter them after.
Okay.
And I would be using a regular multi-purpose or tomato after.
Okay.
But that's very good as well.
Yeah.
When you have a poor soil and you just fluff it out a little bit and mix it.
And is that one of the things they need to do, like turning the soil at the moment? Is it good to do that now at the moment, or would you hold off again for a while?
I will hold because it could be late frost.
Yeah. Well, we've already seen the temperatures haven't been great the last couple of weeks. They've been on the low side. We have had dry weather. But, you know, we could have a March like we had 2 years ago.
You never know. That's why you shouldn't start with lawn yet.
Okay.
And you should be careful with certain things because it could be... There's plenty of people asking us for tomato.
Yeah.
And it's still a little bit early.
Okay.
It's not that it's early. So if we will have the weather in my hometown.
In your hometown would be something, all right, yeah, but not here.
All right, but not here.
Not here, yeah. We're seeing blue skies, but the chill is there, as you can tell from our layers.
So as you know, here when it's clear, it's cold.
Cold.
It's a nice day. It's very crisp, and we all like them.
Love going out for walks.
But it's not good for tomatoes.
Not good. Right, and we have obviously kind of seaweed plant.
Very interesting product, seaweed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
This thing does, apart from feeding, is activates all the microorganisms that are on the ground. So it's just gonna
So it's not just the plants, it just creates a nice environment.
Enriches the soil, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's becoming very trendy, and it really works.
Okay. Well, obviously, if there's results, that's what's making it so popular, you know.
It's a very nice product.
Yeah. Feeds the microbes to improve soil health, and of course, soil health is.
It actually works.
Yeah, massive.
And you can, if you want to do trials when you grow vegetables, and you have small pots, you can do one with, one without,
and you see how it goes.
Yeah,
all right.
Because if you use it with all, you don't see the difference. But if you use it with someone, you do some samples, let's say, and you feed them with different things.
Yeah.
If you like playing with this.
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
well,
absolutely, absolutely.
I like trying, you know, and see what I try every compost to see how they work and everything. And
so again, the knowledge just keeps growing, Miguel. It keeps growing.
But it's a matter of trying at the end. It's a try and error.
And I think that should be at the core of gardening. You know, why not try something? You know, if it doesn't work this year, well then maybe try something else next year.
Or if it doesn't work here, move it.
Move it.
But we are just. Sometimes we are afraid of making a big damage because we don't have the knowledge. That's why we are here, to give you a hand in advice. And you just ring us or come over.
Call in.
Yeah, and we will tell you what to do.
Yeah.
And just ringing us. You don't even need to come.
Okay. Now, I want to finish up with a little bit of the colour, because I love the primroses you have. You were telling me them here before we were started. We have some bulbs that we're going to talk about that in the next show. We're going to have some specialists coming in and talk to us. But these primroses right now, I can't believe the beautiful colour. Now, anyone who's on the radio and can't see this, there are such beautiful pinks and reds and yellows and blues. It's absolutely stunning. And you were telling me these are real hardy guys.
They are. Unfortunately, you cannot see them because the colors are just amazing.
Yes.
And they are not only very hardy plants, they are kind of perennial, so they will be coming back next year.
Okay.
People, when they get the summer bedding, which is very spectacular, they forget about this. They just throw them to the bin.
Oh,
and if you have a corner, any corner, shady or sunny in your garden, just transplant them.
Okay.
And you'll see next year you'll have more. And you can end up with a very nice corner full of different color.
And do they bloom as early as February?
They do bloom very early.
Wow.
And they have a long-lasting blooming as well.
Yeah, so we're seeing right up to the summer.
They stay flowering in the summer. They flower in the summer, but they get you know, sidelined by the other things.
Because they're small little guys, aren't they? They're very, very small, and they can be for any kind of low-lying beds, or you wanted to kind of just dress up underneath some shrubs. They'd be lovely little addition.
If you have a small place with bulbs or something like that, they will be doing a very nice combination with tall narcissus or any even tulips, because they are lower. Yeah. And they will be making a
lovely
height,
little kind of tiered.
And people normally throw them to the bin, and they are perfect. They are very, very powerful roots. They have a very powerful root system. See? Yeah. See, unfortunately, you cannot see this
on the radio.
But the roots are very thick and white.
And I see as well too that even this lovely pink and yellow one here, there's buds coming through the middle. They're actually there. So these flowers you could actually deadhead them, and it's important you do, isn't it?
You should. There's two reasons for deadheading these plants. There's two reasons. Is one, it teases the plant, because what they want to do is reproduce. Yeah. So when you're taking the flowers out, they think they are not spreading their seeds, so they
grow again.
Some hormones, gibberellins and auxins, that they start secreting the plant. They start running all over the system. Okay. And they start more.
It's like an alarm. An alarm goes off. Lads, like, we need to do more.
I need to reproduce, you know, so they start flowering more. And in this particular case, these fellas, when they wilt, the flowers wilt, they create kind of upper layer that avoids the lower one, the lower flowers. They just kind of hardens a little bit, and it creates like a brown, ugly
little kind of canopy over
exactly,
it. Yeah, but
it's a canopy. And as you see, they are all coming from underneath.
Beautiful, yeah.
And they just don't. They are stopped by that. Yeah. And you think the plant is dying and blah blah blah. No, it's not. Does not.
And another part of the ecosystem, I just want to finish on this question, is would, because I know at this time of year now the queen bees are coming out. Would there be any use? Is there any use in them, or are they like daffodils?
They are not the best.
No. Okay.
They will go.
All right.
If you want to have a if you want to feed the bees now, the early ones,
yeah,
you should have hellebores.
right.
Small alpines they do as well.
Okay.
The viburnum, they like viburnum as well.
Okay, right.
They will come to these fellas, but they
won't get much.
Yeah,
okay, they won't get much nutrition. It's like a little snack as opposed to...
Some of the bows, they won't feed the bees either, like daffodils. They are not very good.
No, they're not.
Well, there's another ones that
they look pretty, but they're not great. And there's loads of lovely to see. Do you know what? It's beautiful to see every day. The colour coming back, Miguel, and it's even just to come in here back into the garden centre. It's great to be back and to see all of the colour, and hopefully we'll see some of your gardens this season as well too. Listeners, we'd love to have anybody send in any pictures they have, if they're looking for advice or if they've found a little area or just to show off. It's okay.
Exactly.
Show us what lovely gardens you have.
We love that thing.
That's brilliant. Listen, Miguel, thanks so much. We've had a
so
noisy show, but honestly the work will be stopping soon because there'll be a brand new look here at Boyles and Killorglin. Definitely well worth a visit and popping down. But for myself and Miguel and everyone here, until next time, happy gardening.